The card concludes at 4:30 with the Balmoral Handicap over a mile. And there's two horses dominate the market here, Frank. It's not as wide open as it usually is it?
No, we're 5 places here now as well, Bruce. But Zabil Prince is our favourite at 130. Lord Glitter is also short at 4-1. The Grape Escape 8-1. Firmament 12 along with GM Hopkins. Accidental Agents Stamp Hill are 14-1, even though Stamp Hill's a reserve. Speculative Bid, Dark Red and Casim are 16-1, and we're 20-1 bar.
Now, we have to give props to your colleague Rob Catterson, Frank, because a couple of weeks ago he was standing in for you. You were hungover, I believe. And he put up Lord Glitters for that sprint, that Accidental Agent one, and it ran an absolute stormer. Got beat half a length at 20-1. And I think, Frank, that was a race that let the cat out the bag because he's much shorter here. Can he win this?
He definitely can. And I was actually sick, Bruce, not
sorry,
hungover.
mate.
Genuinely sick. Yeah, he can. It's just, you're looking at a race like this where probably plenty have been aimed at it, and 4-1 is skinny enough. Now, you also have Zabil Prince, who up at York pulled nearly the whole way around and still managed to win really easy. So you imagine a £6 penalty wouldn't stop him either. But for me,
can't be backing shorties like that, can we?
I can't be backing 130 or 4-1 in a race like this. So I'm going to throw 2 darts at it, and 2 of them are, I think, best price 20-1 out there. And the first is Casim. He disappointed in the Cambridgeshire, but he was second to Flaming Spear in the run before that at York, which is pretty solid. He'd won in the all-weather at Chelmsford very easy the time before that. We all know that all-weather form can transfer well to the Ascot straight course. I think he's still rated 99. Frankie's on board. I think there's a race in him off 99 in Handels cut. I think he can go well at a price. And the other one I liked was, again, this is a bit chancy, but it's This Is Us for Richard Hannon. Ryan Moore is up for the first time since the Lincoln, when, I don't know if you remember, we were praying to get it beaten because Ryan had won the first 3 races that day. And all the multis were running up onto This Is Us, and he just got touched off by Bravery. He's only £2 higher here. Ryan's back on for the first time since, and he's been running nearly exclusively in group company since, bar a little spin in a conditions race at Linkfield last time. I think if he could replicate the Lincoln run, he'd go quite well, and he's about 20-1 as well.
So
this is the 2 each way plays.
Jolly good, Casim and This Is Us. James, what are you going to do? Take on the front 2, or you?
No, I think you've got to have Lord Glitters on your side. I was very impressed by what I saw at Ascot last time, and there could definitely be more to come. Only concern, I mean, his draw is perfect, nice and low. My only concern is the yard, the Amara yard, has not really been in tremendous form in the last week or so. So that's a little bit of a negative. Plus, it's also going to be a messy race, I think, with the conditions. So I'd like to have one each way at a bigger price. And Eddystone Rock would interest me. He stays very well, and I think you're going to need to stay. And just the sort of horse that you want on your side. Goes well in big fields, so I'm going to go with him each way as well.
Keels, what do you reckon?
I'm sort of totally opposite view to Frank, really. I think this race has been made less competitive by the fact that it's so valuable, and virtually any horse that's good enough to run in it is running in it. And what you've got is a lot of older horses that need to be almost group class to win off their marks, but we've got enough form in the book to tell us that they aren't. So, I mean, I'm not normally one for favourites, but I mean, I think Lord Glitters is a good thing. I thought he was so eye-catching at Ascot. That was his first ever run at 7 furlongs. He's got winning form at 1 mile 2 furlong on heavy and soft ground in France. David O'Mara bought Mondialiste over to run in the Lincoln a few years ago. Just got beat by a ridiculously well-handicapped Gabriel that year. Mondialiste since turned into a Group 1 horse. He's got Soudois from France as well. He turned that into a Group 1 horse this year. And I think this is a Group horse, every day of the week. He will, he travelled so well last time. He came flying through late. I mean, if you watch the race again, you really do think he should have won. And I think he'll win. He's officially £4 well in. He obviously didn't pick up a penalty for that. He's £4 well in. And the other fav I don't like is Zabil Prince, because Roger Varian has an absolutely shocking record when bringing horses out quickly under a penalty. He's only done it 18 times in his training career, and he's only had 1 winner. He's had 10 losers at 5-2 or shorter, including
what a good stat. Well
done. 2 at odds of 4-7 and 1-4. I think Lord Glitter should be clear favourite, and we're going to have bookies like Frank said, they're going 5 places. I mean, I just think it's a free each way bet.
You think he's a moral in the black Balmoral, do you? Kills, I just wanted to ask you about GM Hopkins. I mean, I know he's the most overexposed horse going, but Is this the sort of race that he could make the frame
Well,
in?
he's a typical example. We know exactly what he is. I mean, yes, he can run well, but I tell you what, you know, this is now by far the most valuable mile handicap in Britain, probably Europe, and it tends to favour the younger, less exposed types. Last 2 years, not a single horse aged 6 or over has made the first 5, and you know they make up 40% of the field.
Okie dokes. Right, well done, chaps.